Welcome everyone, Nicole here, licensed massage therapist and certified yoga teacher. Let's begin a yoga sequence for you mamas and you busy people. There's always some time. Start hands palm to palm. Take a few breaths. Try to quiet the mind by paying attention to the breath. As BKS Iyengar would say, some practice is better than no practice. Here I'm grabbing a gua sha and just using it in between the brows, across the forehead to help relieve a common area of tension before we practice. They're easy to pick up. You can find one on Amazon. This one is a rose quartz, and I'm just moving it across my forehead. It's cool. It feels good. Again, helping to relax. Move across the jawline, another common area of tension, and also along the TMJ joint on both sides, and under the eyes, right under that bone, the cheekbone, down the neck, moving towards some lymph nodes. Now, off to the mat. Come along. Hands palm to palm. Breathe. Step right leg back, standing lunge. Make sure left hip is back. Arms rise up, overhead. Bring arms down either side of front foot. Step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Come forward into a plank. You want your shoulders to be over your wrists. You can just wiggle your feet back. Hold the plank. Elbows stay behind wrists and lower down slowly. As soon as you feel like you can't hold it anymore, bring the knees down. Lower, hands stay next to pecs, untuck toes. Lift up into cobra. Wide across chest, gazing forward. Exhale, lower down. Tuck toes, pick up, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, aligning with breath. Breathing in, breathing out. The beauty of our yoga practice is aligning with our own power. It's always there. Sometimes we just get away from it. Forward, front to mat, Uttanasana. You can loosely be watching this and listening if you are an experienced practitioner. As you can see, I don't have a perfect screen setup, and that's okay, because this is meant for us busy people, us mamas, just to show you can get things done without being perfection. Bend the knees, Utkatasana, arms up towards sky. Come up. Arms come down. Doesn't mean we have to sacrifice our work. Just remember, BKS Iyengar, some practice is better than no practice. Left leg back, standing lunge, arms come up overhead. Exhale, arms down. Hands either side of front foot. Step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And you might be wearing comfier pants than I am. I mean, these are comfy, these are loose jeans. But again, I'm just really trying to show that yoga is very accessible. It's great to wear those pants when you're in studio, even at home. But if you're in something that you can move in, stay in that. We're in a plank, and then back to down dog. It's a wonderful move to go from plank to down dog, once in dog, bend and extend the legs, heels towards the floor. You could do that several times with the breath and even make that a wonderful practice. Feel the power of downward facing dog. Bend, extend at the knees. Take a walk towards the top of the mat into standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Right leg back with the foot at a 45-degree angle, right heel behind left heel. I'm taking the right arm behind me so I can really get the right shoulder blade back. I'm going to come up into an Utthita Parshvottanasana, extended side angle pose. Left arm, going to go on left thigh, right arm up, overhead, palm facing down, and there's a line here from right heel to right hip to right shoulder to the fingertips of the right arm. Remember, powerful in every pose, so I am keeping my left arm on my left thigh. I am about 8 months postpartum, and you back off the poses a bit. Powerful in every pose. Arms out wide. The front leg straightens, lowering into Trikonasana. Right arm up to sky. The front knee could be bent here, or you could be using a block, but this is accessible for me. So this is how Trikonasana looks in my body. Come up. Step, top of mat, hands palm to palm. Bending right knee, holding right ankle, coming up into a king dancer pose. Lifting the right foot up, left arm rises, keeping the hips neutral. Then going to the other side for an Utthita Parshvottanasana. Left leg back, left foot at a 45-degree angle, left arm up overhead, palm facing down. Important here to keep that line from heel to hip to shoulder to hand. So that left hip, you want to keep it back, or the back leg hip, you want to keep it back. Come up, lengthening the front leg, keep the energy in the foot. Wide open arms, hands shoulder height, heart open. We're going to fold down towards that front foot. Top arm up towards sky. You can gaze up at the hand or down to the floor, whatever is most comfortable, but notice how my head, if you're watching the video, is in line with the hip, in line with the leg, rather than at a diagonal. Come up, step forward. At this point, feeling powerful in every pose. Hands palm to palm. Bend the left knee, holding the ankle or the top of the foot. Careful not to pull on the foot. Foot up towards sky. Right arm up towards sky. Lift up as high as you can. Foot down. Hands palm to palm in gratitude. Feeling a wash of the yoga asana over you. Come to seated. Right leg out, left foot into inner thigh, Janu Shirshasana. Fold. Keeping a tall spine, leading with heart. Breathing. You could use a strap for this, or you could be just to your leg and not all the way to the foot. Opposite side. Left leg out. Fold down, head towards knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. The toes can come towards you and you'll get a great hamstring stretch. You can switch from pointing toes to toes toward you. Either way, you want an active foot. Try not to let the shoulders slump. Breathe. Again, feeling the wash power over you, of beauty over you, that all comes from the practice of yoga asana. Feet together in Baddha Konasana. Come forward, always keeping a long spine rather than slouching the back. You can use blocks if your legs don't come down to the floor, like mine. That way you're pressing into blocks. You're pressing into something. Stability for mobility. A nice fold forward. A rock forward. This is also self-soothing. You're taking a few moments or a few minutes of the day to yourself, not only to exercise the body, but exercise the mind, dance with the soul. Come up, seated. Legs out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. It's just like Uttanasana, but on the floor. Arms rise up. Sits bones are rooted. You're going to fold, hinging right at the hips. Being careful not to round the spine. So you can use a blanket. You don't have to go down to the feet or use a strap. I happen to be able to reach my feet, but you never force anything. Because again, you want this to be empowering. It is so empowering, the practice of yoga asana. If you go along with the dance of the body, kind of get out of your own way, you'll leave just feeling so recharged and so regulated. Knees bent. That might not happen for you right away, but it will over time. And maybe it will right away. Picking the feet up off the floor, palms up towards the sky. The knees are still bent. You can hold this for some core strength. If you could do boat pose, you could extend the legs right out there. But you never have to go all the way. Cross-legged, hands palm to palm. Gratitude. Moments in line with the breath. Namaste.